Hey everybody, it's Tara, and I am here reading out of my Faces of Autism book for the month of April. And oh, I'm so excited. Look at who we get to talk about today. This is Truman. True man. I know he's listening. I know he's going to listen to this. And I will tell you that True is my own little superhero, because when we were doing the Kickstarter for launching the book and trying to gain seed money in order to get the book published and printed, which wasn't very cheap. And so we did a crowdfunding campaign, and it was kind of at risk of not getting funded. And if you know anything about Kickstarter, if you don't get it funded, you don't get any of the money that people pledge. So we kind of had to drive hard the last week, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna happen or not. And True found out that it was in jeopardy of not happening, and there was no way this young man was not going to be published in a book. So he got on with the help of his mama and created a cute little video that begged and pleaded people to, to fund the book so that he could get published. And you know, I couldn't have planned for that, and it was so sweet and so sincere. And I'm forever grateful to you, True, for doing that, because you made that happen. So thank you, True, for getting our book published. And so let's learn a little bit about Truman. His one word to describe him, his parents chose joyful. And I think, yeah, there couldn't be a more accurate word. Truman, or True, is one of those kids who just exudes pure, loving joy. His imagination is as big as his smile, and you can't help but join in his fun. I brought out my superhero capes, and although he didn't share much of his imaginative play out loud, you could clearly tell he was fighting off monsters or bad guys with gusto. His mom said superheroes are right up his alley. Truman loves anything that pits good against bad, light against dark. He memorizes lines from movies, reenacts favorite scenes, or imagines new adventures with a swirl of lightsabers, masks, and capes. We think it's fascinating and wonderful that a kid who could view himself as powerless has tapped into these other worlds, gaining strength from characters he thinks of as friends and mentors, and sees himself as fully capable of helping the world just like they do. Isn't that a remarkable way to learn, and really remarkable insight from his mom? One of the huge lessons I've learned from children with autism is to see things from a different perspective. And I have to agree with his mom when she described Truman's love for life. I think there's a widespread misconception, this is his mom speaking, there's a widespread misconception that kids on the spectrum are socially detached and emotionally disconnected. But True is a kid who craves connections. He delights in loving people up and lighting up a room. He rushes to hug people he knows. He is frequently awed by the cool things around him that most people take for granted. So many people, teachers, neighbors, even strangers at the store, remark to us how much he lifts their spirits to see his giant smile, hear him singing out loud, or watch him jump and clap with glee. I asked if it was okay for us to take a photo together at the end, and with his signature big grin, Truman eagerly sidled up next to me, put his chin on my shoulder as he snuggled super close, and it melted my heart. It was really sweet. Look at this kid, look at him. Yeah, he's my superhero. So the words of wisdom from his parents. Even if you suspect your child may be on the autism spectrum, getting the diagnosis can feel like a crushing blow, because every case and child is so different. The unknowns are overwhelming, especially at first. And unfortunately, special needs evaluations and interventions focus primarily on deficits, fixing or dealing with delays, deficiency, and even those doomsday scenarios. But I see the most progress in my kid when therapists and teachers build upon his strengths. Absolutely, absolutely. Don't you feel better when somebody talks to you about your strengths? Doesn't it make you want to do better? If somebody kind of points out some of the things you're not so good at, doesn't feel so good, does it? And I'm not saying that we shouldn't address challenges that people have in order. If autism is getting in the way of quality of life, of course you need to address those challenges. But don't forget to focus on the strengths too. That's where the magic lies. All right, thanks for listening, and hi, True. We'll see you soon.